So here's a topic that I've kind of been following for a little bit over the last little while. It's Oscar Pistorius. He's a 400 meter runner from South Africa. And I was just reading an article in the newspaper today, just basically commenting on the fact that his prosthetic, basically running shoes kind of leg things, are actually giving him an unfair advantage in running, and basically running, because the thing is here that basically he's been amputated. His legs have been amputated since he was born. He was not born with fibula bones in his legs, so he basically has been, wearing prosthetics and whatever, or in a wheelchair for his whole life. I mean, that is his life. So he's had an incredible amount of challenges just to overcome that, just to get to where he is today. Like, even just like as a person in society, I mean, it's not always the toughest, because if you're disabled in some sort of way, people kind of look at you weird and think that you're different and all that kind of stuff. But besides that, he has these carbon fiber prosthetics that basically they start from his knee, just from below his knee, and basically give him basically a shin and a foot. And the reason why they think that this is giving him an unfair advantage is because those carbon fiber blades is what they call them. They call them the Blade Runner. The carbon fiber blades only weigh 1 pound, and basically, so if I were to cut off my leg here from just below my knee, and weighed that along with my foot and my shoe, I mean, that's going to weigh more than 1 pound. I would hope so. So they think that because it weighs less, it gives him an unfair advantage, because he can actually have basically a quicker kind of running stride, and he's more efficient because he's not utilizing as much energy to move his legs, his shins and his feet there. So I mean, just this story alone is really kind of stupid, because here's a guy who's been told that he's been disabled his whole life, has actually trained hard enough for enough years using prosthetic limbs, using prosthetics to actually compete in the 400 meter at a professional level. Now, what really kind of bothered me about this article is that the guy, one of the guys that was commenting on it, he was like some professor from some school or whatever, basically was saying like, what if Oscar wins? What if he wins a medal? And it's like, Oscar has only run the qualifying mark, basically the qualifying time twice in his career. So I don't know exactly what it is for the 400 meter off by heart, but he's run a 45:07 and a 45:20 in the 400 meter. And one of those times came this year, but in order to qualify for the 400 meter in the Olympics, for probably a lot of events, is that you have to run it twice in the same year. So he's only run it once this year, and I actually watched the race, his final race of the year. I can't remember what meet it was off the top of my head, but he had to run it again in that meet, and he was just off it by, I don't know, I think it was like less than 1/10 of a second. He was off the qualifying mark. And this professor or whatever is commenting on the fact that, oh, what if Oscar wins? And it's like, Oscar is not even close to competing for a medal. He doesn't have the speed to actually compete for a medal. Like, he didn't even the only reason why he's running the 400 meter in the Olympics this year is because he was chosen to be on the 400 meter relay team. He wasn't actually able to qualify for the 400 meter race because he didn't even post 2 qualifying times. And I mean, why are we like criticizing this guy who is not even anywhere he's not close to challenging the world record? Not even close. He's 2 seconds off the world record, his fastest time. He's not anywhere close to the world record. He didn't even qualify for the Olympics in his main event that he wanted to qualify in the 400 meter. And people are actually considering, well, what if he wins? The only way that Oscar is going to win is if basically he has to make it through all his heats into the final, and that all the top 400 meter runners either fall or get caught for doping or or have false starts. And I mean, that's the only way that he's going to actually win a medal. Like, realistically, he's not competing with the top, like the top 3 or 4 runners. He's not at that level yet. But I mean, we're questioning whether or not his prosthetic legs, like, are giving him an unfair advantage. And it's like, this is crazy. Just let the fucking guy run. Just let him run. My God, he's going to be such an inspiration for so many people around the world who have prosthetics, who have amputations. And I mean, until you can actually prove, because they say they've done a lot of studies on him and stuff like that, and they basically have shown that he doesn't have any kind of unfair advantage. If anything, I'm sure he probably is at a disadvantage. I mean, because you have to learn how to run in a completely different way, because you don't have feet, you don't have shins, you don't have calf muscles. Like, you don't have the same things that everybody else has. So you have to learn to run in basically a different way. So he might be at a disadvantage, which is crazy. Anyways, that's just a story that's been kind of pissing me off. And what are your comments? What are your comments on this? I mean, do you think Oscar should be able to run? Do you think he's a cheat? Do you think his prosthetic limbs are giving him an unfair advantage, even though he's not even running anywhere close to world record time, or he's not even running qualifying times for the Olympics? Do you think that they're giving him an unfair advantage? I don't think so. I think people should just let him fucking run, because Christ, he's gonna be, I mean, this is gonna pave a new road for a lot of people who have amputations. And it's like, wow, just because I have a disability doesn't mean that I can't compete at the highest level in the world. It's crazy. Anyways, leave your questions and comments below. I mean, do you think he's a cheat? I don't think so. I think, he's just doing the best with what he's got. He's put in, probably a decade plus of training into running. And I think just let him fucking run. Let him run. My God. Anyways, guys, talk to you soon. Have a good day.